Hello everyone, my name is Cam Chay Tep. I am a master degree student from the Faculty of Pharmacy, Mahidol University. Today I will present the research in the topic of person job fit and misfit of Pharm D graduates in Thailand. The research advisor is Dr. Montaya Sunantiwat and the co-advisor is Associate Professor Lirat Anurat Panit. We will start with the background and significance of this study. Due to the shift of pharmacy education in Thailand, that the Pharmacy Council of Thailand had made the 6-year pharmacy programs as a compulsory prerequisite for pharmacy licensure starting from 2014. The Pharmacy Council of Thailand believed that the 6-year program would help move the pharmacy competency from the generalist to the specialist, and solving the curriculum overload provide the same standard within the pharmacy professional throughout Thailand. The compulsory Pharm D program consists of two different training curriculum. One is the pharmaceutical care program, which is the patient-oriented program, and the other one is pharmaceutical industry program, which is the product-oriented program. The pharmacy educator and the Pharmacy Council of Thailand expected that the reconstruct curriculum of Pharm D program would produce the graduates who meet the requirements of the job and also could perform competently in the healthcare system. Even though there were many studies regarding the competency perceptions of the new graduates, but there were no study conducted after the graduates had entered the job market. Especially, there was no study regarding the fit between the graduate and the job requirements in the perspective of learner. So, in this study, we aim to identify the compatibility between the graduate and the job career using the personality environment fit theory. The person environment fit theory is a psychological theory describing the interactions between individual and the environment in an aspect of management. It is defined as the degree which individual and environment characteristic match. In previous study, person environment fit positively relate to individual career involvement, job satisfaction, organizational commitment, and career success. It is also negatively associated with intention to turn over and also the work behavior of the employee. In this study, we will focus on the person job fit. The person job fit is one type of person environment fit. It is the compatibility functions between a person and the demand of the job. The person job fit comprise with two different components, which is like the employee's knowledge, skill, and ability, and the job requirement, or the employee's need, design, and preference, which mean met by the job that they perform. The person job fit can be measured in two different ways. The first one is direct measurement, which called self-perceived fit. The second one is the indirect measurement, which called the actual person job fit. In this study, we will call it as expected person job fit. The objective of this study is to investigate the person job fit and identify factors relating to the person job fit of the Doctor of Pharmacy graduates in Thailand. The scope of this study will focus only the person job fit and misfit of Pharm D graduates who graduate from either traditional Pharm D programs or the standardized Pharm D program in Thailand. The socio-demographic data was collected as independent variable, while the dependent variable were assessed in two different dimensions, which I mentioned before. The research methodology. This study was designed as a cross-sectional research using an online self-administrative questionnaire for data collection. The study populations are licensed pharmacists who graduate in Doctor of Pharmacy program in Thailand. The sample size was determined using the Crochan's formula for finite populations, and after substitute the number into the formula, the sample size with 95% confidence interval and 7.5 design level of precision is 163 pharmacies. In this study, we used convenient sampling technique to select the participant into the study. A link to questionnaire was posted on the social media such as Facebook fan page and community of pharmacists, and also the Line application's open chat group. The respondents were included into the study randomly as they agreed to participate and submit the answer of the questionnaire. The research instruments in this study is the survey questionnaire, which consists of three parts. The first part of the questionnaire aims to collect the demographic background, including the gender preference, age, faculty of pharmacy attend, year of graduation, type of pharmacy programs, time to the first employment, and current employment status, and so far. By the way, the second part of questionnaire aims to assess how the pharmacy graduate perceive of their professional competency using the 16-item question set based on the professional competency announced by the Pharmacy Council of Thailand using the 5-point Likert scale ranking. The third part of the questionnaire aims to assess how the pharmacy graduates perceive about the person's job fit. The graduates were asked to identify their perceived level of current job fit using 6-item question set developed and adopted from previous study. The respondents were asked to indicate their level of agreement, which is statement on a 5-point Likert scale ranking from strongly disagree to strongly agree. The research questionnaire also been reviewed and evaluated by two lecturers from the Faculty of Pharmacy, Mahidol University, using index of item objective congruent technique, and been revised followed to the comments. The Convac alpha scale was used to estimate the reliability of the scale. A pilot test was performed by collecting data from 25 general pharmacies, and the data collected from the pilot test has been analyzed using the SPSS program to calculate Convac's alpha coefficient, which results as 0.879. The data analysis were performed using SPSS statistic version 26. The descriptive statistics were used to define the characteristics of the respondent. By the way, the pharmacy competency perception of the Pharm D graduate were determined using mean and standard deviations of competency score. The pharmacists who score higher than mean plus standard deviation considered to be very competent in pharmacy competency. The pharmacists who score ranking between mean plus or minus standard deviations were deemed competent, and the pharmacists who score lower than mean minus standard deviations will be considered incompetent in pharmacy competency. The perception regarding the 6-item person job fit statement was transcribed to rating score ranking from -2 to 2 based on the dimensions of the statement. The pharmacy graduates who have overall rating score The Pharm D graduate to have overall rating score higher than mean considering self-perceived person job fit. By the way, the Pharm D graduate to have overall rating score lower than the mean were deemed to be self-perceived person job mid-fit. The researcher also assessed the expected person job fit and mid-fit of the graduate by comparing their education program with their current career appointment. The graduates were grouped by comparing their expected person job fit and also the self-perceived person job fit. The factors relating to person job fit were identified using the non-parametric analysis. The statistical significance was set at p-value of 0.05. In this study, we found that 80% of respondents were female, age range from 24 to 44 years old, with the age median of 26 years old. Most of the graduates were graduates from government university. By the way, only 14% of the graduates from the private university, and with similar ratio in both programs, the pharmaceutical care program and the pharmaceutical industry program. The majority of the graduates were employed in pharmacy career for both pharmaceutical care and pharmaceutical industry program, which account for almost 100%. Only few of them working in the other career than the pharmacists. And also, in this chart, you may see that the majority of the graduates were working in the pharmaceutical care positions, and only some of them, which were graduates from the pharmaceutical industry program, were working in pharmaceutical industry career. And the reason that this happened is because of the higher availability of the pharmaceutical care positions in the job market, and the pharmaceutical industry positions were like just about half or less than half of the number of the graduates who graduate from pharmaceutical industry position. So the pharmaceutical industry graduates have to shift to work in the pharmaceutical care position to get the job. The pharmaceutical graduate perceive that their professional competency at competent and very competent level. The total competency score of pharmaceutical industry graduate was higher than the pharmaceutical care program. As you may see in this chart, the blue line represents the score of the pharmaceutical care graduate. By the way, the green line represents the score of pharmaceutical industry graduate. Most of the Pharm D graduates perceived to have person job fit, even though the ratio of self-perceived person job fit and self-perceived person job mid-fit are not that big difference. But anyway, there were no difference in perception rating on person job fit between the two pharmacy programs, the pharmaceutical care and the pharmaceutical industry program. The comparison between expected person job fit and self-perceived person job fit among Pharm D graduates present in this slide. For pharmaceutical care graduates, we found that almost half of the graduates who has expected person job fit express that they were not fit with the job. By the way, it's kind of surprise a little bit that the pharmaceutical industry graduate who had like uh, expected person job misfit present that they're more likely fit with the job. Like more than half of them present that they were fit with the job. From this chart, the analysis show that the phenomenon that the graduate, even though the graduate has expected person job mid-fit, but still represent the perceived fit because of the higher pharmacy competency score. As you may see in this chart, uh, the graduate who has expected person job mid-fit and perceived fit has highest pharmacy competency score. By the way, the graduate who has like expected person job fit but perceived that they were mid fit with the current position had the lowest pharmacy competency score. So the pharmacy competency score play an important role in the self-perceived person job fit and the analysis was confirmed with the by the one-way analysis of variance, which found that there were the self-perceived person job fit score were significantly different between the graduates who has no competence versus the graduates who were very competent with p-value of 0.3037. So, from this result suggests that the pharmacy competency show an effect on self-perceived person job fit score, and it was in line with the previous study. When the skill and competency of the employee were in concordance with the demands of the job. So this competency forms the fundamental characteristic of the graduate, and the graduates who have the right skill and the ability to fulfill the job demand would express that they were feeling fit to the job. And that's why the graduates who perceive more comprehensive variety of skill would likely say that they were fit. In this study, because due to the small sample size and the convenient sampling technique used, so the result of this study might not be able to generalize the whole population. And also because the self-reported technique was used for data collections, there might be some information bias due to the self-report technique. For conclusion, the person job misfit occur due to the flexibility of enrollment to the training program of and the workplace. Like as the pharmacy license, they are universal, and also there is no limit that the pharmacists who graduate from different training program cannot perform particular jobs. So that's why they were crossing over between the training program and the job career. And also with this problem, all stakeholders, especially the pharmacy education consultant and also the Pharmacy Council of Thailand and also the employer need to work in collaboration to regard the needs of the industrial pharmacists, that the number of positions available in the job market should be balanced with the enrolling student to the program. And so the high percentage of self-perceived person job misfit directly represent the graduates' viewpoint on their compatibility in their real world working life. So the gap between the knowledge, skill, and ability of the graduate need to be further investigated and need to be closed. The pharmacy curriculum should be carefully reviewed, evaluated, and revise to close the gap. And the pharmacy school may also support the graduate by providing continuous professional development program for a certain period of time, probably a year or two and for instance, to ensure that the graduate who need the skill improvement could access to the additional training and the skill improvement could be fulfilled. This is all from my research. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.